After the Seahawks lost to the Saints, Pete Carroll actually admitted he probably would have been fired if Russell Wilson wasn't his quarterback. After 3 straight losses without his stud quarterback for the first time in 10 years. Take a listen.
Let's say it this way, I've been here a long time, and if we didn't have Russell, I probably wouldn't have been here a long time. Because think of all the magic that he's created in the years. He's got numbers and stats in fourth quarter, this is and that's and all that stuff. You know.
So, my question that I want to give to the Seahawks fans is, do you think that this is Pete Carroll's last year with the Seahawks? I kind of want to get into a couple things, but I just want to point this out in terms of Pete Carroll's career, in terms of coaching. It hasn't really been the best of coaching, like Belichick, Shanahan, honestly, Russell Wilson has been carrying Pete's career for a very long time. And now that Russell isn't here to carry him anymore, you're kind of seeing the fruits of Pete's labors in terms of how much he really put into the drafts and our conditioning. This is what I got to say. I feel like our conditioning, and this is a side note, I feel like our conditioning coaches are probably one of the worst in the league. Just off of the fact is, there are a lot of star players that have a lot of potential, I may add, that are injured, and they continue to be injured throughout practice, throughout the training camps. It has not even been full throttle, full season yet. We have a week until we face the Broncos, and we have people that are questionable. We have people that are on the PUP list. We have people that are not conditioned well and that are getting injured in training camp, which makes us overall bad as a team because we don't have our players that have the potential to really be good to not be out there. I also want to say I feel like as Seahawks fans who have been in this era of Pete, I feel like the era's died. Like, honestly, once you move the Legion out and it was just Russell and Bobby, that was the last of the greatness of Pete's era, and they're gone. So now we just have this last piece that we got to get rid of, and that's Pete. We are not going to progress without getting rid of Pete. It's that simple. I really feel like after this season, after we have a terrible season, and we do draft our quarterback, I feel like we should just get rid of Pete and not have him taint any more of our organization or the Seahawks organization. Let us go with a whole new fresh era of new coaching staffs, a fresh new young group. I'm not trying to dog on the oldness of Pete. Belichick is one of the greatest coaches and still is one of the greatest coaches at his age. But Pete is not a Belichick. Pete does not draft well. LJ Collier is a bust. There are so many busts that they have grabbed in the first, second round that have not added anything to the team. I am asking this very specific question. Do you think that this is Pete's last year with the Seahawks? Because this is, in a certain way, a prove-it year for Pete. But all I can say is, if we get a terrible season, if we have a terrible season, we might as well get rid of him because he's not able to coach a pretty mid team. And that's all I got to say. I really feel like it's just terrible at this point. So,
After the Seahawks lost to the Saints, Pete Carroll actually admitted he probably would have been fired if Russell Wilson wasn't his quarterback. After 3 straight losses without his stud quarterback for the first time in 10 years. Take a listen.
Let's say it this way, I've been here a long time, and if we didn't have Russell, I probably wouldn't have been here a long time. because think of all the magic that he's created in the years. He's got numbers and stats in fourth quarter, this is and that's and all that stuff. One of the winningest quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. And it'll be really fun when he comes back and plays football again for us this year.